And the Prophet ﷺ said, Inna likulli ummatin fitna. For every ummat that came, for every nation that came, for every group of people that lived, there was a trial that Allah gave them. And the Prophet ﷺ said, the trial of my ummah, the fitna for my ummah will be what? Mal, money. And this is the problem that we live in today. This is the biggest and most difficult task the Muslim ummah faces today is, how do we handle money? What drives us to want to earn money? It's the biggest challenge that we face. And if you ask me on a personal level, people say alcohol is bad. People say drugs are bad. Women are bad when you abuse them in the wrong way. All these are tests that we are facing. Mankind is facing these man-made tests. But what's the root cause for each and every one of these tests? Money. What is it that gives you drugs? Money. What is it that puts food on the table and you will try whatever you can to earn this money? That's what's going to be, that's the time that we are living in. This is the biggest problem that we are facing. How are we earning our money today? A very important question. How are me and you earning our mal? How are we earning our money? With the way the current economical system that we are living in, we are going through tough times. There will be cuts. The VAT will go up to 20%. All these difficulties, financial difficulties that we are going to face, question arises, how are we going to manage to pay our mortgage? How in the next couple of years are we going to provide food? And these are questions that we are all facing. However, after listening to this, do not think that Imam Sahib, I don't know what I'm saying. Because I understand people to survive today, in this day and age that we live in, the only way to survive is how? Money. This is how we're going to survive. But the question and the issue that I want to tackle is that we have money. To say that the Muslims do not have money is an understatement. We have money. We are saving in our bank accounts. We have opened multiple bank accounts on one name or two names or three names. We are banking money into there. But that money that we are banking into there, why is it that people are still greedy? Why is it that people come to Imam Sahib and say, Imam Sahib, there is no barakah in my mal, there is no barakah in my life, no du'as of mine are accepted? Why? These are questions that are facing us today. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran has said, وَلَا تَأْكُلُوا أَمْوَالَكُمْ بَيْنَكُمْ بِالْبَاطِلِ. Do not consume the wealth of others unjustly. i.e., do not rob one another of money. How is that? In the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here is giving you examples. People gamble. Gambling is what? I put 10 pound, we place a bet, you put 10 pound. If I win, I take your money. Yet you didn't want to give that money. However, your actions are speaking louder than your words. This is an issue we are facing today, gambling, and how we are dealing with it. وَلَا تَأْكُلُوا أَمْوَالَكُمْ بَيْنَكُمْ بِالْبَاطِلِ. Do not eat the people's money unjustly. Do not fight with one another over these money. Hazrat Abdullah ibn Abbas radiyallahu ta'ala, and in the tafsir of this ayah has said that, people will lie to rob one another. People will start to burgle one another. They will rob them of their money. People will take people to court just to get money off them. Because this is the way that is unjust, bil batil. This is the wrong way of acquiring money. This is one aspect. The second way is through gambling, as I mentioned. Through gambling, money which is acquired through drugs, money which is acquired through prostitution, drug trafficking, alcohol, all these issues that we are facing, money which comes from those sources are not haram, are not halal. This is where we have misconfused, and we have swapped the ta'rifat and the definitions around, and we think, yeah, well, if I sell drugs and I become a shutter on the street, I earn money, it's alright. No one knows I'm doing it. Yet everyone doesn't. The person that does it doesn't realize everyone knows he's doing it. Word goes around. So this money that we are earning, how are we earning it, and where is it coming through? That's the question. There's a narration mentioned that الرجل يطيل السفر أشعث وأغبر يمد يده إلى السماء. There was a man who was on a journey, a very long journey, yatilu, very long. He became very tired, and ash'ath wa aghbar, he became very tired, very lazy, very slack. He had no more energy inside him. Yamuddu yadahu ila as-sama', and he lifted his hands to the heavens, and he said, Ya Rab, Ya Rab, oh Allah, help me, oh Allah, do this for me, oh Allah, do this for me, X, Y, and Z. And then a voice was called, وَمَطْعِمُهُ حَرَامٌ وَمَشْرِبُهُ حَرَامٌ وَمَلْبِسُهُ حَرَامٌ وَغَزَّ بِالْحَرَامِ فَأَنِّي يُسْتَجَابُ لِذَلِكَ. This individual, everything that he used to eat used to be haram. Everything that he drank was haram. The clothes that he was wearing was haram. Nothing that he was doing and everything that he was acquiring, nothing was coming from a lawful income, a lawful source. And he was raising his hands and saying, Allah help me, Allah help me. How is Allah going to help someone who is dealing himself with these activities? As in the next narration, Sayyidina Anas bin Malik radiyallahu ta'ala and said, Ya Rasulullah, ud'u Allah, yaj'alani mustajabu da'wah. Oh Allah, Allah's Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, do dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah accepts my du'as. That I become mustajabu du'a, my du'as are accepted. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam says, Ya Anas, atib kasbak, tajibu da'watuk. Oh Anas, when you earn your money, make sure your money is halal. And when you will do dua, your du'as will be accepted. Sayyidina Anas is asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's Habib, Hazrat Muhammed Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, our master, our leader, the one who knows right to wrong, the one who came to teach us right and wrong. He's asking a very beautiful question that today the Imams are being asked. Me and you are asked. Okay, Imam sir, my dua is not accepted. My awlad is off the wrong track. They're not on the right track. My family, my children are smoking drugs, they're drinking alcohol. My daughter has run off with her boyfriend. I'm trying very hard to earn money, but I can't stay away from haram. I end up gambling my money. These are questions that we are asked. Sayyidina Anas bin Malik radiyallahu anhu asked Rasulullah alayhi salam, oh Allah's Messenger, make dua that how will my duas be accepted? Make dua to Allah that He makes my duas accepted. And Nabi alayhi salam responded with two phrases. Nabi alayhi salatu salam said, purify your wealth. Make sure the mal that you earn, whatever you acquire, it's halal. Atib kasbak, your acquirings, what you are earning, make sure it's halal, make sure it's pure. And then equally, you will see that Allah Almighty will answer your du'as. Today people say, my dua is not being questioned, my dua is not being answered. One aspect of this is we've lacked sabr. We want everything now. And when we get everything now, we don't value that thing. So sometimes Allah Almighty makes us wait and says, be patient, in time you will get what you need. This is how Allah Almighty does it. Sometimes Allah Almighty gives you immediately and says, here, have what you want. You ask for mal, you ask for money, take it. And then he takes his money and it takes him in the wrong direction. Why? Because he was impatient. He did not wait for divine wisdom to tell him. And then there's one individual who, he says, oh, my du'as are accepted, my du'as are. Ask yourself, how are you earning your money then? Ask yourself, am I doing drugs? If you're doing drugs, then the hadith is telling you clearly. Ask yourself, am I drinking alcohol? Ask yourself, every morsel of food that we eat, is it halal? Is this halal food that we eat? And if it's haram food, then that's what we're taking inside us, as I will mention and I will discuss later. Again, clearly mentioned, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in the hadith, it continues, فَإِنَّ الرَّجُلَ لَيَرْفَعَ اللُّقْمَ مِنَ الْحَرَامِ إِلَى فَيْهِ فَلَا يُسْتَجَابُ لَهُ دَعْوَةُ 40 يَوْمًا. There's an individual who he has one luqma, he has a morsel of food and it's haram. Be it that the food in its product is haram, like khinzir or whatever it may be, or be it that how he has earned that food, that's haram. He eats a piece of food which is haram, he puts it in his mouth. فَلَا يُسْتَجَابُ لَهُ الدَّعْوَةُ 40 يَوْمًا. Any dua that he will do, as long as that food is in his body for 40 days, that person's dua is not accepted. How are we earning our money? How we do benefit fraud? How we are earning more than 20,000, 25,000, yet we still apply for the income support and the benefit, which is not halal for us. A question is true, it's reality. Everyone is doing it. Then how can you expect halal to be there? How can you expect du'as to be there if we are lying? Again, the question arises, if someone is dealing drugs, then how is he going to expect? If someone is in insurance fraud and he's earning money in a unlawful manner, how? Credit card fraud, how? Fraud in properties, how? How is that money that he's earning is halal, how? Because why? What drives him to do all this? I need money, I need money. I can't survive without money. This is our perception today. We think everything that drives me is money. We think it's all about mal. Yet Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, it's the fitna of this ummah. It's the test for you people. It's the trial for this ummah is mal. Right from the politicians, sad to say, all the way to the dodgy peers out there. Right from the politicians, from the top end of the scale, all the way down to the dodgy mullahs out there, who are earning through haram. How can we accept? Because why? It's such a disease that has infiltrated into our system, very hard to get out of now. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Hazrat Abdullah ibn Umar radiyallahu ta'ala an narrates, Qala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Ad-dunya huluwa or hulwa. You know, this dunya, this world, it's sweet. Halwa, it's beautiful. That's what the hadith mentions. Hadira, it's got greenery. Man iktasaba fiha malan min hillihi. Whoever is making his income and livelihood through the dunya, through the earth. Wa anfaqahu fi haqqihi athabahu Allahu wa awrathahu jannatah. And this money that he's earning through the earth, and be it through vegetation, be it through whichever way he's earning mal from the dunya. And when he spends it in the right manner. Then athabahu Allah, Allah Almighty will reward him, will give him his ajr, and he will get Jannah. Why? Because he's doing halal. He's doing it the right way, the way which Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. On the other hand, man iktasaba fiha malan min hillihi, there's a man who is doing the same business as him, he earns from the dunya, ya'ni he earns, he works hard. Wa anfaqahu fi ghayri haqqihi, and he spends this money in the wrong direction. He spends it in haram, i.e. gambling. He goes and gambles in Ladbrokes and bookies, in the William Hills. He goes in there, he gambles money, he places bets, he does stuff like this. This person, he earns money, he gambles his money. Adkhalahu Allahu dar al-hawan. Allah Almighty will enter him into Jahannam. Yet he earned money in the halal way, he earned it in the right way. But how was he spending that money? In the wrong way. And it's not spending the money in the wrong way which is going to cause us suffer. which is going to cause us the problems today that we are facing. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, "Man lam yubali min ayn iktasab al-mal, lam yubali Allahu min ayyi babin adghalahu an-nar." It's a riwayat mentioned that if you are not going to care about where you earn your money from, if we are not bothered where we're going to earn our money from, then in the riwayat it says Allah Almighty will not bother about which darwaza of Jahannam He is going to enter you through as well. Just as we are not bothered about, am I earning this halal, am I earning this haram, is this jais for me, is this not jais for me, is this najais, is this right, is this wrong, am I breaking the haqq of my brother, am I not breaking the haqq, whichever way. If we don't have this perception and we don't think, okay, where did I get this money from, is this money halal for me or is it haram for me, am I earning through halal or am I earning through haram, am I spending it in gambling or am I not spending it in gambling, am I going and becoming a shutter on the street and dealing drugs or am I not dealing drugs? If we are not going to have this perception, then in this rawayat and in this narration, Allah Almighty's Habib alayhi salatu wasalam says, just as you don't bother where you are getting your money, Allah Almighty will not care from which darwaza of Jahannam, which door of Jahannam He is going to enter you through.